March 4th, 2025. Another bad dream. I had it earlier, and I wanted to get the camera and tell you about it fresh on my mind. And I'm like, no, just let it go, Judy. You know where it's coming from. Let me tell you what the dream was. I was outside with the kids. Amari was out there. It was like, I don't know. Sort of like a park setting or something like that. Like outside, with trees, and there was a garden patch way over there, and people were kind of over there, and we were over here. And now keep in mind, Amari can't walk. He can't get up and run off. He can't crawl off. Right? So he was wherever he was. Andre was there, supposed to keep an eye on him, I suppose. I was close by. Like, we were together, right? But in an instant, basically, Amari disappeared. And I'm like, where's Amari? Like, he didn't run off. He didn't crawl off. Right? You know, tried to keep an eye on the people to make sure that nobody would come and scoop up on him. But he was gone. So, I'm running around looking for Amari. And I got up high on something. I don't know what it was. And I'm looking like this to see the ground. Over here, over here, over here, over here. Well, clearly the yard is stressing me out, right? And because stuff is being thrown out in the bin from I'm going to go down to Tisha's room today. I'm positive shit's been thrown out of there, people. Because again, my son is mad. Because I have things in that room. And things in I have basically food in Auntie Shemay's room. Yeah, that's what's in there. Food storage. Which I never get to because of the harassment, I guess you could say, that I get from them. If I go down too much, up and down, like if I was to go down once or twice a week, I'd be accused of being disruptive to their privacy. So I just don't go down, because the last time I was down there, people, was before they got married. And that's when they tore everything apart from the 14-year food storage. That was a setup. They never even gave me a chance to do what I needed to do. They just did what they wanted to do, and then I threw everything into Tisha's room. Like, literally just whatever. Right? Because there was other things, and, okay. So it took me 3 days to sort it out. Eventually I got down there, and I sorted it out. Right? I stacked the bins, I wiped everything down, washed the walls, washed just whatever, wiped the bins down, just whatever, right? Went through everything, stacked everything up, and then on top, I had the plastic bags with, obviously, what I pulled out, that one thing from the bin, yeah, because that stuff was clean. I could smell it. And I keep different types of, I had fleece fabrics in there, people to make hoodies with, in bags. You know, I had things that if I needed to make something for Amari because of his disabilities, I had the paddings, that kind of stuff. I bet you my son threw them out, people. He said that somebody stole a recycle bin out in front. I said, well, if they did that, Marcane, that's because they filled it up with whatever it was that you threw into that bin out in the front. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, that's exactly what he did. He went out of his way, people, with, I'm sure, Marina. She probably instigated. Who fucking know? Who boo-boo knows? They feed off of each other. You know, they geek each other up. It's like they do drugs and they get high, and then they go off and they do fucking stupid shit to get off on. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird shit. I tell Andre, your mother, the little things that she did when it came to thieving, nothing compares to what Marcane and Marina have been doing to me. Brooks, Marcane's 1,000 times worse. Oh yeah. Brooks never stole from me, people. He never stole a thing. He was just having a few tantrums because I didn't have a big house. I didn't buy a big house, go figure. He felt shortchanged as the oldest son, that I couldn't provide him with an inheritance because I didn't own a house. I don't know what it is with these boys thinking their parents should leave them fucking houses, but that's been my problem with my sons. But Brooks never destroyed my shit. That one time I told you about, when we moved from, when I lost my house for 8 years and we ended up in that shanty shack, just that one time. And then, he left after 6 months and really never came back home because he was always independent. But he never did this. So I'm looking for Amari, standing up on something really high, like really high, and I'm scoping, because, I'm thinking Google Maps. In my conscious mind, I'm thinking Google Maps. We know why the cities and the landlords are doing what they're doing. Because of the politics, right? So that they can promote the next foreign investor to buy something that's being built around here because it looks nice on Google Maps with the few little houses with their nice little yards, and even though people are going to end up homeless and die and be tortured and exploited, and, right, in the interim between while this house is here until the such time is destroyed, right? At the end of the day, it all means nothing. We know that. So that must be me with the Google map looking, and I'm scoping out, looking for Amari, wondering how the hell he crawled off, and I'm looking in between, the bushes to see if maybe he, did this or something, right? No, somebody took him. Why they'd want to take him, I don't know, but they took him. I woke up. But then, look what's happening. My son is throwing out stuff that I want for Amari. He's just taking it and throwing it out. Just taking. That's all he's been doing is taking. Yeah. Now he's mad because he can't have those 2 rooms. Because he figures he pays enough rent that he should have them. Never felt that way until that girl moved in. She's the one that wants, quote unquote, more space. Right? And because that room is musty, because of that water that continuously flows out from that open gutter, year after year after year after year, saturating the ground over there and whatnot. Also, too, years back, there was a hole in the pipe in the upper bathroom on the... It wasn't when you open you could see it. It was on the other side where they had to cut off the drywall to replace it. Don't ask me. That seemed kind of weird, but it was almost like it was punctured to create a problem. But besides that point, it took a while for us to figure it out. And so Tisha's room's always been a little musty, right? I even bought a dehumidifier. I paid like $250 for it. I gave him I gave him a brand new dehumidifier to run a dehumidifier downstairs because of, the moisture under the floorboards. What it is it's the cement under the floorboards that doesn't have it's to insulate the cement so it doesn't sweat with mildew. It doesn't have that. And it's old down there, and carpets, they're old. They've been the same carpets we moved in. They were old when... Okay. He just got spiteful again, people. That's all. He watches my videos, smiles up in my face, acts like whatever. When he's not mad at me, then he's rude to me. When he's mad at me, he's rude to me. Very hurtful. He goes behind my back, clearly. You're throwing out things that maybe Amari doesn't need right now, but at some point. And that's why I had the dream. He came up here yesterday, asked me for something. Amari heard his voice. Oh my God. Amari just started chatting up a storm. I said, did you notice that, Marquine? As soon as he heard your voice, he just started getting real chatty. He was quiet all day until you said something at the door. Marquine will come in here sometimes. He'll talk to me. Amari hears him, and he tries to overtalk on Marquine. Marquine, quiet, Amari. I'm trying to talk to Mom. No. But for Amari, he likes it, right? He's not trying to overtalk Marquine. He's trying to get Marquine's attention because I guess he likes Marquine's voice. What is it? What else? When Marquine picks him up and carries him, and doesn't happen very often, but when it does, Amari is in his glory. But you see, love is not what is important. Amari is the epitome of pure love. And even when he tries to express his love, it means nothing. Nope, it does not. Because love is not what is important. At least not in my world. Maybe if my family was intact, it'd be okay. It'd be better. It was better. But with so many of them gone, because of those creative tactics to dismantle families, so it's easier to control what's left and to manipulate the outcome after the fact of the family practically being destroyed. So, I have to go look. I don't want to go downstairs and look, but I have a feeling he threw out a whole bunch of shit. Yeah, and that's why people were stealing recycle bins to fill it up the fucking boo-boo recycling bin with my stuff. It's like backstabber, you know? You know, backstabbers, they smile up in your face, but they're plotting and scheming how to hurt you, and they turn around and they backstab you. That's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. I've been dealing with it for a while. So, I don't know, people. If I call the cops, what are they gonna do? Tell them to stop? Yeah, sure. That will be just another thing for him to hold a grudge. That's all. Because he holds grudges for years and years and years and years. For whatever reason, he wants to put himself into a victim position. To hold a grudge, that is. Right? So yeah, another bad dream. So I'm looking. I don't see no Amari. Yeah. Because my son is making it easy for people to go into the bin and steal the things that I could use for Amari as he's growing or whatever. I don't even go downstairs, people, because I can't deal with the stress of being criticized for going down there, spending too much time trying to look for something. Like, I need that coconut butter. That's in Auntie Shemai's room, but I don't know where it is. Which means I'd have to spend time looking for it, people. And if I'm down there too long, or if I want to, rearrange or do something that's going to require a day or two or whatever, I just get harassed. So I just haven't been doing it, so that's why I put more food into my bedroom. And then the fabric came out, and he's like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, well, you don't let me go downstairs, so what am I supposed to do? But it's just as well, though, because I get to pull out the fabric that I never got to sew for the last 14 years because of this yard. And now I got to decide what I'm going to do with the fabric. And, God forbid if they're throwing out my fabric, well, they probably sell it first before they throw it out. Right? Probably, but then I don't know. They're so wasteful, and they would throw it out just to hurt me. That's why I want to kind of maybe move with Rhea, because she likes to sew. We could set up a little sewing room where she can sew, the boys can learn how to sew. I won't be sewing, right? But at least Andre will have Nana's sewing stuff. Leave it to my son. Forget it. They'll never let Andre have anything. No, they won't. If I maybe try and work out something with Rhea, we can, like I said, have a little sewing room. And Andre can keep my sewing. And because she sews, she'd appreciate it. She'd actually be grateful. She'd actually go out of her way to teach him how to do it. How to sew, that is. And she has a son, and maybe her son will learn to sew. But that's just like... So what? You think you can maybe do something doesn't mean you can do it. So now my stuff downstairs is under attack again. That's what's happening. They're taking Amari's things away, and God knows what else away. And that's why I'm dreaming about Amari. With Google Map. Scoping the landscape. Looking to see if maybe he was hiding under a tree or something. But I don't know. Couldn't find him. Nope. Just like I'll never find that stuff again that was in that bin. So I don't know. I have to find different way to live someplace else sooner than later. I mean, this is just doesn't stop, these dreams. This is what, 3 bad dreams? 2 bad dreams? 2 dreams? In the last week? Yeah. I even hollered out. Ah! Yeah. I'm gonna have a heart attack with these bad dreams. I swear. I'm like, ah! Amari! Right? Yeah. I'm afraid to go downstairs and look. My heart's broken. Oh, the garage, like the shed. Oh, that, like, all this is a result of what my landlord's trying to get me evicted. They're building a case to get me evicted so they can get their $5,500 a month. And it's just like ricocheting. That's what this cortisol does, right? Gets people angry with each other. Clearly my son is angry, so he's been raging around. He feels ripped off by $3,000 in wages because, they've had him working outside like the Hulk in extreme weather conditions, doing extreme heavy labor. So I guess he figures I owe him this money, so he has a right to terrorize my shit in the shed. And now he's downstairs in Tisha's room terrorizing that because it's stuffy in there. It's always been stuffy, so even if, you'd have to change the whole carpet. Matter of fact, you need to change the whole carpet in the basement, so, before you go too far with whatever you think you're doing, better yet, why not freaking fix the gutter? It's been leaking like that, like a sieve. You seen it? It's like a big pond of water. Where do you think that water goes? It makes the cement sweat. Yeah. When you gut it, you might want to change the freaking floorboards and wash the cement and then put moisture. It's called a moisture barrier over it. But none of that's going to happen. House is going to be tore down, people. Right? We're not the first people to have a musty room. And I did buy a dehumidifier if it really bothered him, for the basement, that is, in general. Right? Because it's not just there. It's everywhere on that carpet. I made these little bottles of tea tree oil and water, and tea tree oil and peppermint, where you spray. And the tea tree oil and peppermint, you can do both or one, right? It helps to neutralize mildew in carpets. Now, whether they kept up with it, I don't know, because, I get tired of being insulted by them. Yeah, I get tired of them treating me like I'm some sort of, what's the right word? Are you leaving? You've been here long enough. This is disruptive. Right? When are you leaving? You're being very disruptive. Well, I don't know. I've been working on cleaning up what you did for the last... Like, when they oh my God, people. I have to get out of this house. I have to find a way to get out of this house. That's what I mean. And then you go to the thought of, well, if I die, that's the fastest and the quickest. So another video into that playlist. If I die. Well, if I die anytime soon, waking up with bad dreams, you can blame my landlords and my son for it. Because all of them want something. They all want something. Did you go into Tisha's room and start throwing stuff out from inside there? Where did that cow come from? And that, yeah, that white cow and that yellow bird and all that other shit that the people ran off with.
Probably the shed or the chicken coop.
Well, I seen what you did in the chicken coop, but whatever. These were plastic bags that were not, I smelled that stuff. It was not old or dirty. Like it wasn't, so what, you did a second time in the shed? You threw out more? Well, this was new stuff.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Is that even yours?
It would be something that I would keep, yeah, for Amari.
Yeah, well, I did the chicken coop last.
So you're saying you took nothing out of Tisha's room?
No.
Because I'm having nightmares.
I'm sorry for laughing, but no.
Okay, well, I'm not looking for trouble, but I'm really scared.
I know. No, I've stopped. I'm thinking about doing some more in the shed. If the bin is still here today, I
Like,
can get some more shed room.
well, why don't we just deal with it in the spring and we'll do it together? Because I want to gut the whole...
Here right now, but
No, 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 we'll do it together, because if maybe I'll give some to Rhea, I'll wash it, whatever, and we'll just gut the whole shed. We'll do it in a day, gut it, give it a good spray, rat-proof it if we need to, and then decide what we'll put back. I would prefer that, okay? If you don't mind, please just let me just say goodbye. Some of that stuff, I don't know what's in there. If it's salvageable, I'll salvageable it, and I'll give it away, or I'll sell it, or whatever. Okay, there, you got. Please just leave it alone for now. All right. So, do you think maybe Marina did it?
no.
So nothing's been moved in Tisha's room. Okay. All right. Well, then I'm going to take it for face value.
Okay.
What else was in there that you noticed?
Not much. I don't know. They moved a bunch of stuff.
Pardon me?
Where are you talking about?
When you... Well, I don't know. I didn't want to get in there and climb around this time. I just climbed up to the ladder and looked.
You're crazy.
Well, yeah, I know, but if it was you, you'd be going through this too, Marcane, okay.
I would. I got mad at them stealing the recycling bin.
Well,
I get it.
you get it, right. And some of this stuff, I mean, I don't use right away for Amari, but as he grows, like, it's just, I don't want to buy.
I know, but I'm not doing it to harass you.
I know that. I know that. You're not the one instigating this, but you're just reacting to it. I know that. Okay, so I'm not going to go looking for trouble in Tisha's room then.
Yeah, no, I think everything's good for now. If the city wants anything done specifically, I can do it in my truck. So I'm kind of just going back to the things that I want to do instead of this. I'm calling this project done.
Yes, and you can tell him that over the course of the next week or two, remind him I'm blind, and just say over the next week or two, she's going to go outside with her, grandkids, right? And move, like, the rocks and the planter pots and that kind of stuff, because he'll complain about those not being emptied out yet.
Yeah, okay.
He's anal, this one. Okay,
No problem.
so just let him know that I'll be out there working with Andre and bringing out my disabled, make sure you put the label on it, disabled grandson.
He doesn't care. It's not his job.
I know he doesn't care, but
It's not his job to care about that much.
whatever. Just let him know I'll go outside and I'll move those planter pots over a period of a couple of weeks.
Yes,
so that you don't have to get stressed out over it. And I'll put those tiles someplace so that if the boys want to do a mosaic in the summertime, they can have that to do a mosaic.
We're getting rid of the fucking tiles.
I only need a few. I don't need them all.
Okay, we'll keep it like 10.
What?
We'll keep 10.
Well, yeah, it's just to make a mosaic so they learn how to make a mosaic.
Whatever, Mom. I don't want to start, like, talking about
Tiles.
babies and ifs and what ifs and all this shit. I'm not doing any more. I have to go to work in like 15 minutes. So you caught me. I'm changing the kitty litter right now. So we haven't touched anything from Tisa's room. I haven't taken anything else out of the shed. I left your fucking pipes there in the chicken coop.
Okay.
Okay?
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Well, he's saying he didn't throw anything out from Tisha's room. Can't accuse him of lying. I haven't gone down there to look. He's thinking it might be somebody else's stuff. Why would they do that? Putting them in those plastic carry bags is my style. I don't know. Okay. I know he's gone. I don't know about her downstairs. So, do I go downstairs today and rock the boat? Go looking for trouble? See if my quote-unquote that man is lying to me? He still calls me Mom. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-boo-boo-doo. Serious. I got lots of stuff I have to do up here, so I should just... my heart is... I think you call it fluttering. It's fluttering. Like this. It's fluttering. It's not going like this. It's just fluttering. I can feel it because I'm shaky, right? I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to keep up with this, people, but you know what? That bin out there is indicative to the Punjabi community and how they treat others. That's all I got to say about that, because, you know, where are my certificates to my foundation? Probably in the garbage can, right along with the rest of the stuff that belongs to the foundation that's been thrown out. And where did that come from? It came from the Punjabi community, okay? Because they just want money. That's it. That's all they fucking want. And a false image so that they can think they're wealthy. Because they buy love. Where I know I'm not wealthy. And I don't have no love. So, I don't know. Is it better to know that you don't have love and be in touch with reality versus thinking you have love only because you have money and you're out of touch of reality because you equate money with love? No money, no love? Well, at least I'm in touch with reality. I know what I get. I'd rather get no love than false love. Because if you get false love, then it becomes out of touch with reality, right? I'm just saying, you could look at it like that. But yeah, that's a signature to the Punjabi community and how they treat others that are not like them. And they get creative about it. They're not stealing your certificates for a legitimate foundation so they can go off and God knows what that guy did with them and his partner in cahoots. You know I wanted to say crime. I don't know if the federal government, you know what, maybe I should phone up the federal government one day, give them my business number and my society number. You see, I have a business number. I have a GST number. Never made no money with it. Was too busy working in the yard. When I moved into this house. Same thing with that fourplex. Was too busy painting the foyer and the outside stairs for them and all that. Trying to make it nice. As they were stealing my hydro so they could run their grow-op for free. With their moldy dresser in the laundry room that practically killed me with their shoddy pipes. When it snapped, the plastic pipe with the little clip, it snapped off. And then the pipe went, and it just was shooting out water into a dryer that was going around and around and around. 240 volt with a whole bunch of water being sprayed on it. Oh wow, isn't that just lovely? God was with me on that day. But you can't be surprised, they were Punjabis. So, it's a write-off. I figure maybe I'll go downstairs in about a week from now. And I'll poke my nose down there and a bit, you know, see what's going on in terms of Auntie Tisha's room and Auntie Shemai's room. And I'll look underneath the stairs. But and whatever was in the garage was basically wiped out because of the city that belonged to me. Yeah. He told me yesterday he threw out the serger. I think I asked him about it. But honestly, I think he threw out 2 sergers. Now, I won't know until I go look. Because I know about the first one. I know about the FAF. But there was another one that was in the garage. It was on that little yellow table. Or maybe I put it back into Tisha's room. I don't know. I won't know until I go down there and look around. But all I can think about is what can I start selling. Yeah, before the next attack. Where, however it manifests. Yeah. He said he stopped going in the inside and throwing stuff out. When I asked him, he said, "Oh, I stopped that." Oh, okay. Well, what about Marina? No, she wouldn't have done that. Well, she was putting stuff out there behind his back. I think he's still in denial about it. He suggested it was somebody else that threw that in the bin. And that cow. You have to remember, I worked with kids. I used to take this stuff outside. Let them play with it, or whatever. He said that he wanted to go back into the shed and take out more stuff from the shed. So maybe he did that, and he just said he was thinking about doing it. Maybe that's where this stuff came from. Maybe it came from inside the shed. Maybe he didn't take it all out. I don't know. I told him to just leave it till spring. The whole thing needs to be gutted. You need to look everywhere. Save some of that chicken wire. You can run chicken wire along the bases on the inside. I know I did it under the floor. I built a subfloor. I would have put rocks in between the boards. I laid that screen over top that I was going to use for the hen house area. And I did wire in chicken wire. I remember wiring in chicken wire. I'm sure we'll get into those videos one day. But, rodents, they chew. So maybe it chewed up from the roof or something, right? Because he said there was a hole in there. It got in by chewing. Either or, the whole shed needs to be gutted. I've been wanting to gut it for the last couple of years, but I needed help. Nobody wanted to help me, so it didn't get done. And now it's half empty with my stuff gone, pillaged, ruined. Right? For an image, so that when they put the house up for sale, they can advertise the shed and everything else that's I built, for a false image of respectability because of money. You have no money, you have no respectability. You have no money, you have no love. You have no money, you're not entitled to have a family. And people will make sure you don't have one. Yeah. So that they can... I hear something booming around down there. Do you hear it? Do you hear the booming? I hear the booming. So I'm not going to go downstairs. I don't want to catch my son in a lie. And you know what? He could be very well telling me the truth. It could be her that's throwing it out behind his back. Because she goes behind his back and he doesn't acknowledge it. He's not going to open up boxes where it's written laundry detergents or whatever. Take out a box of Borax. Tape up the box back so now everything's rattling around because one box is missing. And then put the box back with the tape all mucky Mickey Mouse retaped. He's not going to do that, people. She, her, yes. He's not going to take a box of Borax out of a box and then go put it where food is, in a drawer, so that when I find it, I'm like, I don't think so. He wouldn't do that. She would. Just to mess with my head. Because she came in with a bad attitude. She must feel very insecure. To try and, sever the, I don't want to call it a bond, but a bond between a mother and her son. Because she wants him all to herself, right? That's what it is. She's going to get him soon enough, all to herself. Okay, so the dream. We were outside, kind of like in a park setting where there were trees and bushes. And over there was land where there were garden pots all in a row. Why are we not surprised about garden pots all being in a row? And how I know that is because when Amari disappeared, I climbed up really high on something. I don't know what it was, but I was really high. It was almost like I was like flying around, look at me, right? But I wasn't really flying. I was just up. I don't think I was flying, but I was up really high. And I'm like a Google map. And I'm scanning the landscape, trying to see if I can see him under the trees, a piece of him, or just And I looked where that's how I know the garden pots were all in a row. It was a big piece of land that had garden pots all, in rows. My black ones, the ones that I'm afraid are disappearing, those ones. And he wasn't there, and he wasn't where the trees were that I could tell, and he wasn't where the bushes were, and nobody had seen him. I'm pretty sure I asked a few, asked around, where's my grandson, where's Amari. Nobody sees him, right? And it's like, fuck, man. I woke up. When I was talking to those women from Acorn, and that Polish woman that filed that arbitration with the Landlords and Tenancy Act branch and whatnot, I asked her what it was for, right? And she said pain and suffering. She mentioned pain and suffering. That's what I'm going through. There's a lot of pain and suffering right now. And these people that do this kind of crap, they feed off of it. They want you to suffer. They want you to be in pain. That's why they keep coming back and doing stupid shit over and over and over again, because I don't expect this to be the last time of something. No, I don't. That would be too good. Nothing good comes from this house. No. It's just been one big heartache. Heartache after another heartache after another heartache, with fear factor, with fear factor, with fear factor, and more fear factors. My son said, oh, maybe somebody threw it in the bin, because I noticed that. I said, nobody gonna be throwing in teddy bears. No, they're not gonna do that. Hell, whatever you threw in there, they liked it so much that they stole the recycle bin, and they filled up the recycle bin with the goods and rolled off with it. He goes, yeah, I noticed that. I get it. I know what you mean by having somebody steal something. Yeah, I don't think you get it. You're just talking. Just talking. Just talking. So, do I go downstairs and be Inspector Gadget and catch him in a lie? Because he could just simply say, I didn't do it. It's your imagination. I'll say, no, Marina did it. No, she wouldn't do it. Because he's in denial. And get nowhere with nothing. Or just fucking add in an extra $500, $5,500 if my stuff is gone because of these shenanigans going on for a fake image. Right? Because that's all it is just a fake image. Fake self-worth. If that's the only self-worth that you have, is by going around destroying people's lives so that you can accumulate money for yourself. Seems kind of fake to me, if you ask me. Because for anyone coming up in your face saying, I love you, well, the only reason they love you is because you got money and they want it. They want it. Sooner or later, they're going to want it. Right? You're not going to live forever. And the minute you die, they're all going to fly to the table. And they're going to expect their share. And if it's not equal, there's going to be grudges. Yeah. And it might be against you because you didn't give them enough. So for as much as you thought you bought love, you may end up just buying one big fat grudge. Yeah.